по идее, запись пошла. Всем привет, с вами Саша Лампочкин, и сегодня мы будем проходить сюжет Genshin Impact обновление 5.1. Я думаю, нас ждет что-то сегодня интересное, потому что, ну, я так понимаю, события там должны разворачиваться очень любопытные. Главное, чтобы мне сейчас все работало. Все, вроде все работает. Вот, ну да, вроде что-то работает. Надеюсь, что оно так и будет работать. Если смотрите записи, буду благодарен за лайчик. Это всегда очень-очень плюс всем, и вам, и мне. И это показывает наше взаимодействие, как вот аудитория и вот контент-мейкер. Приятного вам просмотра. Погнали. Ага. Так. За дымом и зеркалами. Благородные имена. Ваше приключение на Атлане продолжается спустя некоторое время. Ага, подождите 2 дня. Ждем 2 дня, ребята. Начнем с того, что нам надо подождать 2 дня. Ой, пум-пум-пум. Вот с одной стороны, конечно, удобная штука, что можно взять, пролистать время. С другой стороны, ты просто сидишь 30 секунд, ждешь, пока у тебя пройдет 2 дня. Итак, 2 дня прошло. Отправляемся в гильдию искателей приключений. Блин, я, кстати, вот тут ни разу не был. Что-то как-то... Что-то так получилось, что тут именно в этом кусочке ни разу не был. Забавно. Так. Пожалуйста, может сцену с Катериной. Ура!
Thank you so much. The Adventurers Guild has been overwhelmed these days.
No worries at all. We've always valued the strength of adventurers. Given the current situation, it's vital that we all work together.
Мне очень интересно, будет ли по итогу у Катерины какой-то отдельный квест, ну, рано или поздно, потому что, ну, мы вот осталась у нас Снежная, а все эти Катерины были произведены именно в Снежной.
Since we're facing the same enemies, I'll send you the intel we've collected on the Abyss so far. Then we can take a look at how to coordinate our efforts.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Got any new commissions?
You two have come just in time. I've got some good news. The Pyro Archon has finished assembling her forces and stationed them all across Natlan. Given how the Abyss has ramped up its activities lately, we can no longer afford to act only after receiving news of an invasion. So the Pyro Archon suggested that the Scions of the Canopy and the Adventurers Guild focus on collecting and disseminating intel. That way, we can stay informed of everything that's happening across the land. Once we receive word of enemy activity, we can notify the nearest camp and the stationed forces can take immediate action.
Это ускорит реагирование.
Yes, precisely. This should also allow us to focus on gathering information rather than running around and trying to tackle everything at once. So please also take a chance to relax, you two. You've been working hard these days, and this will be a good opportunity for some well-deserved rest.
So that's the plan. Whew, we can finally stop and take a break.
Но угроза бездны еще не миновала.
Paimon knows that. It's not like Paimon just wanted to lay here and do nothing.
The movements of the Abyss are always unpredictable. There have also been times when it suddenly became more active in the past. The people here generally see it as something like an acute natural disaster. Once the disaster is over, everyone will return to their normal lives. We just all hope that day will be sooner rather than later.
Oh, right. Most people have no idea just how bad the situation has gotten in the Night Kingdom.
Я тоже надеюсь, что скоро настанет мир. О, качина, у которой реплик не озвучена. Тоже у нас же сейчас прикол из вот этой забастовки всех актеров озвучки, что тут в английской озвучке сейчас не будет половина персонажей озвученных. А, да это же Лорелин и Паймон, привет!
Oh, hey, Kachina! Are you feeling better now?
Да, не время бездельничать. Кажется, да, хочется хоть чем-то помочь. Я слышала, Архон собирает воинов для защиты отдаленных мест, так что я пришла записаться. Отлично, Качина, не преусердствуй. Го, я постараюсь помочь и не мешать. Не хочу добавлять вам лишних забот. Кстати, Шелонен сказала, что ей поручили выковать тебе древнее имя. Она сказала, что все готово, и мы можем прийти в любое время.
Wow, so we'll finally get to meet Shilonen, the legendary forger of ancient names. Paimon still can't believe anyone could forge those things.
Шелонен настоящий мастер. Она может не только ковать древние имена, но и придумывать всякие интересные штуки. У нее всегда много заказов, поэтому обычно приходится ждать, пока она что-то сделает. Но ради тебя она освободила свой график, чтобы сосредоточиться на своем имени. Тогда обязательно поблагодарим ее, когда встретимся. Ну, я уже записал следы в войнах, теперь остается только ждать задания. Если вы не против, давайте вместе сходим к Шелонен. Она же меня не прогонит. Ну, по крайней мере, я надеюсь. Ой.
Hey, have some confidence in yourself, Kachina. After all, you're already a victor of the Night Warden Wars.
Все тобой гордятся. Ты будущее своего племени. Хотя, может, мне лучше найти какую-нибудь дыру в земле и не высовываться? За дымом и зеркалами. Блин, как красиво сейчас вот это выглядело. Мне понравилось. Так. Так, не сюда. Куда-то вдаль. Вот сюда. Окей. Конечно, да, неприятная ситуация. Очень неоднозначная. Вот с этими актерами озвучки. С одной стороны, ну, действительно, как бы, ну, озвучка — это их хлеб. А если у тебя не будет, ну... А если у тебя, как бы, отберут возможность зарабатывать деньги, ну... Как бы это реально нарушение по итогу трудового договора. А вот и Шелонен. Стоит львица наша славная. Шелонен, я привела ту, кому нужно древнее имя. Она потрясающая, я уже многому у нее научилась. Могу поручиться, что она достойна твоего героического имени.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natland not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Что? Архон тебе не сказала?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound. And she did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills.
Но на деле она вполне себя оценивала.
But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now.
Ты расстроена?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm used to it, really. I just need a moment to process things. The Pyro Archon's requests are always difficult to fulfill, and we used to argue a lot. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an Outlander is an impossible task.
It's impossible?
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's sparing glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name.
У меня достаточно заслуг. Да, я видела множество подвигов в их дневнике приключений. Кажется, им все по плечу.
But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
О,
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an Outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name. Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the Wyab don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Mawika, of all people, should know better than anyone, yet she's still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
почему мне кажется, что это уже случалось? В прошлый раз Шланен просто бегала кругами по холмам.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Я не могу, этот трек, он такой он так качает, он так вот... Я не могу. Простите. Ладно.
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon. If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen. In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
Может, они с Архонтом очень доверяют друг другу? Да, давайте подумаем, как это сделать. Если не получится, всегда можно вернуться и поговорить с Пироархонтом, верно?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to? Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough.
Так, нам придется заручиться признанием всех 6 воёб.
I don't know. That requires a
Как это
level of
прозвучало,
knowledge that
боже ты мой.
I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all
Да,
things Night
привет,
Kingdom
я
Wyab.
Ксиланен.
The first person who comes to mind is Sитлали at the Masters of the Night Wind, the one we call Granny Eatstali.
Бабушка Ицтли, повелитель... Сколько ей лет? Ситлали, это же та девочка, которая у нас будет. Бабушка Ицтли.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her spirit speaker stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm unsure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in a room and doesn't like to be disturbed.
Окей.
I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
I hate to break it to you, but...
Она нам не обрадуется.
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah. At the cost of her spirit speaker stone being split into two.
Что?
Great going, Mawika. We're already off to a rocky start here.
Это прекрасный сюжет тем, что уже все идет через одно место. Я такие сюжеты люблю.
In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, Sитлали would still want to show respect to the Archon. I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
Может, попросим Генича доставить письмо? Он уже знает всю ситуацию, и бабушка Эйтсли ему знакома.
Paimon sure hopes a Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
All right, Kanich is a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say.
Отлично, тогда я свяжусь с ним прямо сейчас.
Please just give me a moment to write the letter, and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
Утопала.
Take a stroll in the meantime.
Мне будет сейчас очень грустно. Так, она ушла. Мне будет очень грустно, если сейчас у Кинича не будет реплик. Вот просто прикиньте, вот люди его выбивали. Хотя, по идее, может же быть такое, что... вот, кстати, вопрос. Вот, если кто-то вот из актеров озвучки... Сейчас, даже давайте проверим. На той же самой этой... Господи, Качина, где ты? Вот, Качина. Нет, реплики тут на месте, но при этом, видать, новых не закинули. Спустя время подходит Кинич. Да, у нас тоже не будет с ним реплик. Рад снова вас видеть. Качина все мне рассказала. Я доставлю письмо повелителю Ночного Ветра и постараюсь уговорить Ситлали дать вам шанс. Заодно объясню, что случилось с Камнем Духов, и лично извинюсь перед ней.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
Ничего страшного. Все мы работаем на благо плана Первого Архонта. Каждый понимает, насколько все серьезно.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Да, потому что мы видели, как герой прошлого появился прямо у нас на глазах. А потом Моалани сказала, что ее буквально захлестнула волна знаний и воспоминаний. Первый Архонт все объяснила, когда мы вернулись из Царства Ночи, в том числе, почему появился этот герой и что происходит в Царстве Ночи.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Господи, чувствую себя актером озвучки. Знаете, заменяю сегодня всех этих товарищей, у которых нету реплик.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
Еще кое-что. Мы, кажется, выяснили, кто спас капитана на стадионе Священного Пламени. Его зовут Оророн. Он тоже из повелителей Ночного Ветра, но большую часть жизни прожил в одиночестве, вдали от племени. Поэтому никто не заметил его исчезновения. К тому времени, как Ситлали поняла, что он пропал, его уже давно никто не видел.
Ситлали knows him too?
Да, Оророн — сирота, которого воспитывал вождь повелителей Ночного Ветра и многие добрые люди из его племени. Но у него всегда была какая-то странная репутация. Странная, говоришь?
Given how the Masters of the Nightwind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Ororон, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
Да, они Ситлали в этом плане похожи, поэтому и находят общий язык.
Huh. Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Sитлали could be the first one to notice Ororon's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
Мы до сих пор не знаем, сам ли Оророн примкнул к Фату или его заставили. Ситлали, вероятно, очень хочет доказать, что Оророн не предал свой народ. Я планирую использовать это как аргумент, когда пойду говорить с ней.
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Ororон and the captain's whereabouts?
Да, если все согласны, то это будет взаимовыгодное сотрудничество, а не односторонняя просьба. Хотя я не думаю, что Ситлали откажется выполнять приказ Первого Архонта. Работая с нами, она сможет сосредоточиться и не отвлекаться на Оророна. Хорошая идея.
Yeah. Plus, we kind of owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the spirit speakers down.
Ah, this is a pretty well thought out plan. As expected of Molly Poke Nietzsche. Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Sитлали can meet at the stadium in 2 days.
Ладно, я отправляюсь. Береги себя, Кинич. Я тоже пойду. Надо еще кое-что собрать.
Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
Реально, чувствую себя, блин, актером озвучки, на которого я не планировал. Через 2 дня. Раз, два. Так. У меня еще горло чутка першит. Слегка. Поэтому я в том числе такой думаю, блин, не своевременно это все, не своевременно. Пока что мы только бегаем на 2 точки. То в одну точку, то в другую. Сейчас обратно. Снова стоит вон.
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Sитлали did not reply to our request. Although, I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kenichi a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Night Wind often struggle to work with her. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go!
Вот опять. Пожалуйста, пускай у Ситлали будут реплики. Пожалуйста. Озвученные реплики. Я хочу все-таки услышать ее голос. Иначе это реально, это так обидно. Притом в какой-то момент же, ну, решится этот вопрос с озвучкой. И как бы реплики будут. А у меня их уже не будет, я уже не услышу это все. Ну, как, окей. На стадионе в священном пламени Ситлали, как и следовало ожидать.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't the subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon.
Ну, кстати, вот уже в очередной раз подмечает то, что Архон тут не какой-то вот возвышающийся, а именно просто человек, на котором просто вся основная ответственность. Ну, в остальном он совсем, ну, то есть этот Архонт, это спокойно может дружить со всеми, и это классно.
Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
Это очевидно.
Huh. So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous?
Это почему такие всегда неловкие ситуации? А? Сейчас она же услышала.
You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter. Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know. If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? Sитлали.
Она так подскочила, а?
Wait, you're Sитлали? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatstly. but emphasis on Eatsley, not Granny.
Боже. Ну реально, она не выглядит как бабка. Такая девочка.
You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran.
Ну
The
да, это
wise
классика.
sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young.
А ты еще жаловалась на Пира Архонта, что она не все рассказывает.
It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, how old are you actually?
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you, it's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Sитлали. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going.
Блин, мне нравится ее образ. Прикольный.
I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, understood. Besides, just showing up is the most important part, no? But, of course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house.
Мне не показалось.
It certainly was a bit awkward to see
Волосы
that
прям
everyone else
двигаются.
had
Это
arrived before
прикольно.
me.
Анимация волос чуть больше проработанная, чем у многих.
At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology, only to hear you all talking smack about me.
Какая она зайчка, боже ты мой.
Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
У нее взгляд... Желание выражение лица сейчас, как будто она какую-то сложную математику решает.
Was she feeling embarrassed just now?
Ой, у главной героини тоже какое-то новое выражение лица. Она ждет, чтобы мы продолжили разговор. Все, что она говорит, похоже на шутку. Не знаю, стоит ли смеяться, это будет грубо, или наоборот, не смеяться и еще грубее. Блин, как тут у всех какие-то прикольные эмоции, как будто бы решили добавить живости.
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before.
Шелонен рассказывает о просьбе Пира Архонта и о трудностях, с которыми
I
там
see.
столкнулись.
So Mauika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first. And you've also heard all about Ororon. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
Мы узнаем это, как только найдем его.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Ororон back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you.
Знаете, бабушка так типичная. Ой, внучок, подойди поближе, дайте рассмотрю. Как похорошел-то.
Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds.
Маникюрчик-то какой.
A weary yet free soul. Even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage.
Прости, что это значит?
Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the traveler gonna be okay?
Shoo!
Что?
That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
Она это сделала, как бы, знаете, так, пылинку так просто... Ой, у тебя там пылинка была, вот сейчас, я ее убрала, все.
Isn't that kind of like having part of a ghost come back with you?
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
Спасибо.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Ororon back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with Sитлали to track down Ororon.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you—
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
Блин, так радуюсь тому, что я
All
его
right,
выбил.
now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Ororon's place to look for clues.
Блин, как же она мне нравится. И дизайн такой необычный. Так еще юбочка такая классная. Прям по оттенкам прям вот, 10 из 10. Мне очень нравится. Изначально ты бы на этого персонажа не посмотрел. То есть, если смотреть по цветовой гамме. Но при этом что-то в ней есть такое манящее, интригующее.
He has always lived alone. And I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me.
You can count on
All right, then let's start by heading to where Ororon was seen last.
Окей. Окей, сюда. Телепортнимся. Так. Блин, когда-нибудь я куплю себе 4К монитор и буду наслаждаться этим видом еще больше. Ну и так сейчас с моим 1080 мне просто, мне очень хорошо, мне очень красиво.
This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Ororon speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Ororon really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with the Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him. Or, however, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kanich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless like this.
Можешь рассказать нам немного больше о нем?
Ororon? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant, and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him.
Мы уже отчасти такую историю слышали с Беннетом.
He learned a lot from us, and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place.
Если он такой, как она говорит, то он не похож на злодея.
Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his... Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh?
Тут у нас же сейчас целый
Paimon
ивент
doesn't
будет,
see anything.
посвященный вот этому. Или он уже там есть?
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand.
Ого. Теперь мы можем что-то видеть.
How about now?
What do you see?
О, теперь я вижу следы. Прикольно выглядит.
Oh, Paimon can see it now too.
That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway,
Почему мы не
we'll need to
удивлены?
use our vision now to track down Ororon. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! Sиtlali might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
Так.
What was... What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns. But given the looks on their faces just
Бабка,
now...
которая пытается быть на молодежном сленге.
Or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't...
А? Почему тут все так много мыслят? Кажется, я слышу голос. Подождите, слышу не ушами. Это в моей голове?
Was that Sitlali's voice?
Похоже, Пайман слышала тот же голос, но она выглядит так, будто поняла, что происходит. Наверное, это побочный эффект заклинания.
Now that I think about it, it's a good thing I found some helpers this time.
Так мы можем слышать ее мысли? Ух ты, это невероятно. Такую возможность только в Ситлали.
Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly.
Конечно, мы справимся.
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there. Yep. Judging by Paimon's experience as a guide, it definitely looks like people set up camp here.
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see.
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So we've got to find him. Fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably under the Fatui's watch. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire.
О боже ты мой. У него внук еще есть. Я хотел сказать, что не знаю, заметили ли вы, но тут как будто бы немножечко не почистили звук интонации Ситлали, потому что периодически слышны какие-то трески. Ну или мне кажется.
No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
Так. Куда-то топаем.
There are traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well.
Kanich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense so many more things than us.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways. Both the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that.
Оророн сумел отбиться.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Ororon wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
Ситлали, кажется, сильно переживает. Судя по сигналу бедствия, Оророн был под стражей у Фатуи, и у него не было шансов победить, учитывая разницу численности.
Given there are two signals leading from here, we should split up as well. I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Ororon, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You little brat.
And off she goes. Traveler, did you hear all of that as well?
Да.
Once Sitlali left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name inside Paimon's head, but there was no response.
Так телепатия не работает в обе стороны.
So you were thinking the same thing. Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads.
Не думаю, что Ситлали что-то заметила.
She did say that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. Huh, maybe we're a special case and can hear her thoughts as a side effect. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of
Ну,
her.
кстати, действительно неплохой способ раскрыть немножко по-другому персонажа, чтобы мы, грубо говоря, пробрались в ее мысли и поняли ее сущность. Это неплохо. Но я смотрю, тут они прям замудрили с этим. Что-то тут у многих героев очень много мыслей.
Paimon sees some traces here. Let's follow them and see if we can find anything up ahead.
Так. Здесь есть следы флагистагона, но...
Did you find something?
Но здесь они внезапно обрываются.
Huh. So we can't tell where Ororon might have gone from here. That's weird. The phlogiston trail suddenly stops. We can't make anything of these footprints either. But he can't have just evaporated into thin air, right? We know he wasn't alone. He had all those Fatui with him.
Памин права, все это очень странно. К тому же...
So, you can hear the sounds of the wind from beneath the earth.
Ох, какой голос. Что? Кто только что это сказал? Что происходит? Чё? А, нас телепортнуло. Царство ночи? Что я здесь делаю? А вот и Оророн.
I'm very sorry, but please do not move. I have no desire to hurt you. I apologize that our first meeting has to take place like this. It's just that you're much like one of those animals with ears that perk up as soon as it senses danger in their environment.
Мне еще на секунду показалось, что это Дэнни Слейв, потом такой, да нет, бред.
And given your combat proficiency, I would not have been able to gain an advantage over you if you were anywhere else in the world. However, you're now in the Night Kingdom, a
Обалдеть, он
familiar
настолько
domain to the
высокий.
masters of the Night Wind. Hello, traveler. I'm Ororon, the one you've been searching for.
Ну, кстати, прикольно. Выглядит... Ничего так. Подожди, как это понимать? Ты сбежал от Фатуи?
Ah, the Fatui's custody. I see. So even Granny has told you that I was coerced by the Fatui. I'm afraid you've been brought here by a lie, like a false omen in the lingering smoke. My friend and I only left those traces to lure you here. Deceiving you was never our true intent, however. It was simply the fastest and most feasible way for us to
О,
set
мы
up
сейчас
a
с
meeting.
капитаном встретимся. Это капитан?
Greetings, traveler from afar.
Be careful with this traveler. Her soul is temporarily restrained by us, and it appears to have become more fragile in the process. It's taking all my concentration to hold on to her.
It was I who tasked Ororon with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom.
Значит, вы вместе все это затеяли. Что ты задумал?
I've heard much about you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you. I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you. as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan.
Окей, допустим. Кстати, у меня сейчас внезапно мысль возникла, прикиньте, момент, когда он снимет маску, а там окажется, что это копия Блейда. Вот просто вот визуально будет копия Блейда. А? А вы об этом думали?
If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
У Оророна на шарфе как будто бы, знаете, значок этой черной звезды.
You will see me
Черной дыры,
again
господи,
once you
извиняюсь.
return to
Черной
reality.
звезды. Ага,
No
черной
matter
дыры.
what I say, please help me keep this a secret. This is all to avoid dragging Granny into this conflict.
Ну, интересно разворачиваются события.
Hey, what happened just now? You suddenly collapsed and stopped responding.
Все в порядке. Мою душу только что силой вырвали из тела. Похоже, поэтому я не слышала пойман.
Hey, why are you sitting on the ground?
Она
Are you
прискакала.
okay?
Sитлали! She froze for a moment and then just collapsed to the ground.
Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere?
Все нормально, немного закружилась голова.
Don't worry. We can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me.
Если они сказали правду, значит, у них есть веские причины. Но можно ли им доверять? Я могла бы все рассказать Пайман и Ситлали прямо сейчас, но тогда потеряю зацепку. Я до сих пор почти не имела дела ни с Фатуей, ни с повелителями Ночного Ветра. Пока что лучше промолчать и узнать побольше.
If you're feeling sick, you should just say so. Sитлали should be able to, exorcise any ghosts or weird stuff that you picked up in the Night Kingdom.
A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just say the word.
Спасибо вам всем за заботу, мне уже лучше.
In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now.
Ситуация остается напряженной, вы решаете отдохнуть. Слова Оророна все еще звучат у вас в голове. Тем временем Ситлали продолжает внимательно наблюдать за вами и даже...
Need to be more careful next time.
Что производит проверку.
Feeling better yet, traveler?
All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroron is probably being held inside.
Oh, so it's close by. Then let's head over right away.
Прошу прощения за задержку из-за меня.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all. But if you want to make it up to me, then just be sure to fight extra hard when the time comes.
Не знаю, пока не понимаю, хочу ли я себе выбить. Надо будет смотреть по итогу, что у нее за способности. Но... Выглядит интересно. Я ее еще, как только выходил трейлер на Атлана, я ее заприметил и понял, что мне она очень нравится. Так. Заюш, прости, я не хочу. Прости. Я не в настроении с тобой драться.
Look over there.
I don't think she sees someone in the middle of the camp.
That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui.
Так вот он какой, Оророн. Выглядит точно так же, как когда я говорила с ним в Царстве Ночи.
All right, we'll take the lead.
Ситлали. Да, вот она слева. А это Оророн. Ну, выглядит прикольно в целом. Не прям как-то восхитительно, но прикольно. Да, Орео, вот именно, это Орео. Запомните, ребята, это Орео.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Don't you have work to do?
I cannot see the sun.
What?
Костерлицкий.
Without the sun, I cannot see the truth. You are currently blocking the light, so I must beseech you to move.
Huh? Okay, Mr. Philosopher. That's enough mumbo-jumbo.
Мамба-джа... Господи, сколько лет я не слышал эту реплику. Мамба-джамба.
Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off.
Sitlali's struggling to control her temper now.
Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts.
Бабка, которая пошла надирать жопы.
On my count. 3, 2, 1.
Блин, если нам дадут
Still
за
trying
нее...
to resist?
А, нам не дали за нее
You've got
поиграть.
no idea who you're up against.
Обидно-то как. А, вот ты где. Ну все. А, нет.
Ororon!
Оророн.
Granny!
Серьезно? Это он ее внук? Боже ты мой.
Paimon knows she's called Granny Eats to Leave, but it's still kind of weird hearing someone actually call her Granny.
And greetings to you too, other Granny.
Чего? Бабуля?
What did you just call her?
Granny. Is that not right? You are Granny's friend, are you not? You seem to be approximately the same age as her, so I figured you're also a granny.
Слишком много бабок на квадратный метр.
How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me. You can't go around calling everyone Gramps or Granny.
Oh, wait. He's not a child, is he? Don't tell Paimon he's one of those people who look like an adult but are actually only 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, your words have pierced my heart like a thorned vine. Given how hard those thorns are to remove, I may just need to find a pair of tweezers.
Why are you so upset? You can just say yes or no.
Of course I'm not a child. It's just Granny always taught me to show gratitude where it's due. And since the Masters of the Night Wind raised me collectively, I basically see everyone above a certain age as an elder I should look up to.
Он вроде стал говорить по-другому, но не похоже, что притворяется. Он просил меня помочь сохранить все в тайне, сказав, что это ради Ситлали. Так. Получается, так ты ко всем относишься как к своим дедушкам и бабушкам.
Exactly.
But if you keep that up, then everyone's going to be your senior.
And do you think saying all of this is gonna save you from a scolding, Ororon?
Да. Но, young man, ты думаешь, это тебя освобождает от выговоров?
Haven't I told you 100 times since you were a kid? Heed the 3 warnings.
Be wary of beasts prowling around, scammers looking for their next victim, and strange people who appear out of nowhere.
Oh, so you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. But getting kidnapped? That really takes the cake. You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know. You're just lucky we got here when we did. Or we might be launching another search and rescue.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'll be more careful next time.
О,
Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance.
какая потрясающая сцена. Спасибо за ее существование.
They didn't hurt you, did they?
No, They just asked me a lot of questions about Natlan's terrain and made me draw a map of the ley line distribution.
Okay, now answer me honestly. Were you the one who helped the captain escape after his battle with the Pyro Archon?
Yes.
So why did you do it?
Вот, вы могли, наверное, заметить, как будто бы не почистили вот эти звуки S. Как будто бы вот местами прям вот слышится, как будто что-то не так.
Because they said they would need my help from there on out. They also said that if I refused, they'd just come to you, Granny, and they'd already figured out a way to make you do their bidding.
Hey! I'm no ordinary Granny! Would they really dare to come after me? And you! Did the gods give you a brain just for you to not use it? Did you really believe everything they said at face value and not stop to think? Thankfully, the Pyro Archon only asked that we find the mysterious individual from the Masters of the Nightwind and didn't slap your name on a wanted poster. Even if the truth that you see will soon manifest into reality, there is still no need to preemptively panic. Have you forgotten the words that I've taught you?
I'm sorry.
Ну,
Forget it. We can submit the details of this camp and the defeated Fatui as evidence of your innocence. Let's clean this place up and get back to the city. Auroron, you better remember this lesson well and seriously reflect on your actions. Also, once we return to the city, come to the speaker's chamber with me.
Sounds good. Should I bring some of my homegrown vegetables as well?
Your vegetables?
Yes. I grow a lot of fresh produce in my garden. I hope the Pyro Archon won't be too picky about the selection.
я пытаюсь понять, это у него... Мне кажется, это... Только стоп, это... Я только сейчас увидел, что у него ухо. Боже ты мой. Или это
Now's
украшение.
not the time to be thinking about that. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is...
Recite the 3 warnings.
Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui!
How exactly did the masters raise this guy?
Oh, right.
Так, палату советников. Погнали. Открыть новый уровень испытания эхофантазии. О, отлично. Это, видать, за счет того, что наконец-таки накопил нужное количество персонажей. Потому что мне до этого писал, что недостаточно персонажей. Так, вы возвращаетесь в город. Ситлали проводит вас в палату советников, где вы рассказываете все, что произошло с Оророном.
I see. So Ororон
Этого
came to the
мужика мы еще не
captain's
видели.
rescue because he promised to help him in exchange for Sitlali's safety.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect
Не,
another
серьезно,
member
это
of his
ухо у него.
tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness?
We'll give her a full report. We'll let you know once she's reached a decision.
Will I need to stay here?
Technically, yes. But if Miss Sitlali is willing to serve as your guarantor, then we can release you from custody.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here.
Understood. Thank you very much. Mr. Ororon, please report back to the Speaker's chamber as soon as you've received notice of the Archon's decision.
I understand. Thank you. And thank you too, Granny.
Well, at least you won't need to hide your face anymore.
Traveler, Paimon, thank you very
От
much
него
for
я
your help.
убивать пока не особо хочу.
And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you.
Oh, thank you.
Буду очень ждать.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now. Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night.
Goodbye, other Granny.
Это мой новый внучок уж... Этот мой новый внучок уж слишком вежливый. Этот взгляд, наверное, он хочет напомнить мне о своем обещании. Он не кажется лжецом. Если бы все не произошло у меня на глазах, мне было бы трудно поверить, что он мог так много делать за спиной у Ситлали. Что ему и на самом деле нужно.
We're finally done. All right, it's time to find some grub.
Паймен, мне нужно кое-что тебе сказать.
Huh? What is it, traveler?
Вы отводите Паймен в сторону и рассказываете ей о том, что видели, когда потеряли сознание.
That captain?
Потише.
Sorry. Paimon just didn't see that coming. So you really saw him in the Night Kingdom? And he didn't attack you? Oh, that Ororon, what is he up to? He sounded earnest enough just now. Paimon would have never guessed anything was happening. All that stuff about protecting Sитлали and being forced to help the Fatui, when he's actually been a willing accomplice all along.
Я все еще сомневаюсь. Нам нужно больше информации.
Yeah, you're right. Still, Paimon appreciates you telling her about this. Paimon will support your choice no matter what, so if you want to go, we can go together. We still have another whole day before the meeting, so we'll just meet with them when the time comes.
Дождитесь 20:00 следующего дня. Так, окей. И 20... Окей. Вроде правильно. Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Угу. Не очень понятно пока, что происходит в глобальном плане. Но мне интересно знать, о чем умалчивает Мавуй, потому что она уж очень о многих вещах умалчивает. Такая, вот вроде как картинка складывается, но как будто бы не складывается. Куда уходит дым? Направляйтесь к условному месту. Окей, погнали. Это куда нам? Ага. Угу. И вот сюда. Блин, Атлант все-таки такой вайбовый. Мне нравится. Вайоб. Вайобовый. Какая музыка нагнетающая.
Weird. Paimon doesn't see anyone. Oh, please don't let this be a trap. What was that?
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
It's you. You shouldn't pop up from behind people like that. What are you, a ghost?
I'm terribly sorry. It's just a force of habit.
And what's with you apologizing all the time? You sound so polite and honest, but you're actually doing shady stuff behind people's backs.
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of her. Sometimes you two sound really similar, you know.
Это отсылка на то, что актриса озвучки та же самая, или что?
Oh, so you're gonna call Paimon Granny too now?
Well, I could.
В чем смысл встречи? Давай сразу к делу.
It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character.
Мне все равно, что думает обо мне Фатую. Музыка-то какая.
Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks.
Реплику не
Rather than
поправили.
facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side.
Тоже тут на мужского персонажа. Так, вместо того, чтобы сражаться с тобой, я предпочел бы видеть тебя на своей стороне.
If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash. And that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid.
Почему?
I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth of the Pyro Archon Malwika, would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
Я заинтригован. Расскажите уже.
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to defeat the Abyss and save Natlan, she still needs 2 more heroes to appear.
Wait, how did you know that? Never mind. Guess that's not important now.
Дайте угадаю. Они сейчас скажут о том, что Пирархон должна принести себе в жертву или что-то типа такого.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Tevat, will pay for her mistakes. Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along, the details of which she has chosen to keep hidden from
Интригует его
you?
внешкой.
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost of its execution, she has chosen to keep it as a mere backup plan. Whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she comes to her senses. My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost to the Abyss. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
Это лишь твои догадки.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all this? Just telling us a bunch of scary stuff isn't enough, you know. Besides, wasn't it you who tried to seize the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa's plan?
Стой, он что, намекает на связь сердца Бога с этим запасным планом? Значит, сердце Бога как-то связано с этим планом?
I knew you to be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan
Откуда такая
remains
заинтересованность в
unchanged.
Натлане? Ну, видимо, ты выходец из Натлана. Но кто ты?
And now,
Отец?
I have found a new way to solve the
Отец
crisis.
Мавуики?
We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Ну, вот как всегда, на самом интересном месте кто-то появляется.
The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching. Oh no.
Something? Bad news, chump. It's your granny.
Восхитительно.
Sitlali! When did you get here?
I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Ororon? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Oh, and now you're talking back. Well, go on then.
I'm sorry, Granny. I feel so guilty.
Ничего ты не испытываешь, тебе не стыдно.
You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll...
Wait, Sitlali! Please, calm down. We, still learned a lot of info, didn't we? Like the fact that the captain isn't trying to seize the Gnosis anymore. So, maybe just save the scolding for later, okay?
Да, ни время, ни место для воспитательных бесед.
Listen well, Ororон. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Ororon for me.
Разговор с капитаном оборвался в самый важный момент. Но раз Оророн здесь, может, узнаем что-то еще? Так посмотрел. Что-то сейчас должно произойти? Нет? Это продолжает напряженная музыка быть. Нет, напрягает.
In all my years, I've never had a child cause me so much grief. Do you seriously not see what's at stake here? You've got a head on your shoulders, Ororon. Use it! Why did you help the captain? And I want the truth this time. No answer? Think you're being smart? Then let me ask a different question. What does the captain want? Really? You're just going to stonewall me?
Да чё ты... Господи, бесишь. Похоже, Оророн не собирается отвечать.
Just use your brain for a second. What do you possibly stand to gain by helping the captain? Only endless trouble awaits you and everyone in the tribe. You've always been a good kid. Why would you throw that all away now? If you're worried about something, just talk to me. Granny would much rather we had a conversation instead of constantly clashing like this.
Why is he staring at us all of a sudden?
I'm sorry that you have to hear all this.
Да уж, немного неловко.
Indeed. It's like going to visit a friend at his house, only to suddenly hear your friend berating a naughty Saurian.
Well, that's an oddly specific analogy. Wait, did one of your friends really do that?
Yes. And every time my friend scolded his Saurians, they would look at me the same way you're looking at me now. Helpless and embarrassed.
Wait, but you're the one getting your head chewed off. Stop making this about us!
Indeed, you've got a point. Then please just hang in there for a little while longer. Granny should be done with her scolding session soon.
Oh? You dare gossip between yourselves instead of listening to me? You...
Sorry, Granny.
Sorry, Granny.
Истерика
Sorry,
началась.
Granny. You know what? Fine. I'm perfectly aware that everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. You're all grown up now, so why would you listen to an old hag like me? You say all the right things, but then you go and completely ignore me! Well, if that's how you're going to treat me, you can stop sending Aoife over to my place to deliver your stupid vegetables! I don't need anything from you!
О,
Who's Aoife? A delivery person?
That's irrelevant. The point is, he hangs out with this kid, so he must be no good. You kids get to a certain age and suddenly act like you know it all. There's nothing I can say to get through to you. Ororon, if you're still thinking about that so-called duty, then please, just forget about it. The ley lines did not fall to this state because of you. And we've long closed the book on that incident.
Seems they've started talking about some kind of tribal history. I'm starting to get lost.
That's not it, Granny.
что-то не так с его голосом.
I know you tend to get down on yourself when you're upset, but I can tell I really hurt you this time. All I can say is I'm sorry.
His voice. Ororon! Where have you gone?
It sounds like he's somewhere super far away, but isn't he right
Он,
here in
получается,
front of us?
одновременно может находиться и тут, и, грубо говоря, и в Царстве Ночи, я так понимаю.
I'm really sorry. It's up to all of us to do everything we can to save Natlan. So I've got to go.
Что?
Get back here this instant! Ororon! What is this? Powder from plant spores? Is that the trick he used?
What just happened? How was he able to suddenly get so far away like that?
It's a trick of his. If you grind spores into a powder and spray it in the air, it can be manipulated to create an illusion. He pulled it off flawlessly. He must have put a lot of time into perfecting it. Don't tell me that's how he's been hunting in the fields these days. Oh, little brat. That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs.
Потрясающе.
Whoa, that's a little extreme. But still, why does he feel like he needs to run from us? If his goal is also to protect Natlan, then can't we work together?
Он по-прежнему не хочет рассказывать о своих целях.
I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation with them earlier. But even if you'd been able to hear them out, there's no guarantee you would have gained anything substantial. Ororon probably did everything he could to get away because he knew I'd get the truth out of him sooner or later.
У капитана, наверное, есть серьезный план, иначе у Оророна не было бы причин за ним следовать. Сейчас не получится встретиться снова, так что, возможно, проще будет поговорить с Пирархонтом и проверить слова капитана. И еще. Кажется, упрямство Оророна сильно ранило Ситлали. Надо найти способ ее поддержать. Ты упомянул про долг Оророна. Что имелось в виду?
We've got quite a long walk back to the city. Let's take our time. It'll give me a moment to figure out how to explain all this. Do you two have some time? Feeling hungry? How about we get something to eat?
All right, it's been a while since we last ate. Now that we can relax, Paimon just realized how hungry she is.
Then let's go. We can find somewhere to sit down and talk. Food and drinks are on me.
У Паймон есть небольшой тайный фонд на еду, так что Паймон угощает или не переживаем сами. Ладно, давайте более забавный вариант.
Sитлали looks quite down on herself. All right. It's on Paimon this time.
Обалдеть, Паймон за что-то платит. Теперь нашли мамика.
So you can just sit back and enjoy, Sитлали. Paimon will take care of it.
Hey, come on now. You won't even let me take you out for some food and drinks?
Блин, она еще больше расстроилась.
Just wanted to treat you to a meal.
Are you sure? We can save you some Mora.
Mora is the least of my concerns. Besides, we're definitely due a meal after all the time we've spent together. Let me get this one. I might...
Sure, that's fine with us, but Paimon doesn't want you to be sad, Sитлали.
Don't worry. I'm sure a juicy grilled steak will work wonders.